JD Vance slammed Kristen Welker for a dishonest question during an interview. Now, I would like to point out, you guys, that she was a White House correspondent for NBC. We covered her. It shows you again. And by the way, she had some good questions when she was White House correspondent. Like, she did some good things. But it shows you that what happens when you get into a role such as this, where you get the spotlight really shown in your face, you go corrupt, man. You go real corrupt. And it's sad because I got to watch Kristen for a lot of years. And I used to back her on some things. I feel like I was stabbed in the back, Kristen. Well, here's JD slapping her around.
You say that he's an adversary, just to get back to the question. You're not willing to go so far as to call him an enemy.
Well, we're not in a war with him, and I don't want to be in a war with Vladimir Putin's Russia. I think that we should try to pursue avenues of peace. I'd also call China certainly a competitor, but we're not in a war with China either. I do think, though, that China constitutes the biggest threat that we have for the United States of America, and I think that we have to be serious about it. But I think we have to be careful about the language that we use in international diplomacy. We can recognize, obviously, that we have adversarial interests with Russia. We can condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and I have, and of course the president has, but we also need to engage in some smart diplomacy if we're ever going to get out of the mess that Kamala Harris has left us in and get back to a posture of peace.
And of course, Donald Trump was president for 4 years while Russia was essentially invading Crimea. Why didn't he kick him out when he had the chance? He had 4 years.
Oh, I think that's a misunderstanding of the history, Chris. I look at that much differently.
Well,
First of all,
fighting going on.
We had Russia invade another country, a sovereign nation, during Obama. We had Russia invade a sovereign nation during Bush's term. We had Russia invade a sovereign nation during the leadership of Kamala Harris. The 1 4-year term where Russia did not launch a full-scale invasion against a neighbor was under the leadership of Donald Trump. We also have to remember, just on that point, if Donald Trump had not given Ukraine javelins, the country would not exist as an independent sovereign nation anymore. So the idea that Donald Trump wasn't sufficiently strong on Russia, I think, is belied by the actual history of the period.
Again, there was fighting going on for 4 years during Donald Trump.
But there wasn't a full-scale invasion. I think that's important.
See the bias in that? It's really disgusting stuff coming from Kristen. Like, really, like she is better than that. And she knows it too. That's the sad thing, is really seeing how she's turned to just be a part of the machine. You know, the machine that sits there and rubs the shoulders of the Democrat Party, will do anything you say, will try to make JD Vance and Donald Trump look bad. That she's correlating them going into new territory as when it was already happening. It was already happening, but it's Donald Trump's fault. Yeah, it's Donald Trump's fault. They just don't like the fact that the guy wanted peace. They just don't like the fact that he did a better job than they did. They don't like any of that. So JD trolls coach Tim Walz after the governor claimed you can run a mean pick six in football. I don't know what that means because I'm not a football fan. I'm a hockey fan. Check this out.
I saw that, I guess, Governor Tim Walz did a live stream of a Madden football game, professional football game. Obviously not playing; they were playing video games, and he did it with AOC.
Isn't that wild that dude's playing video games right now? God.
And I guess the goal is to try to appeal to the young male vote by playing video games online with AOC. And I don't know who came up with that idea, but I guess afterwards, you know, because Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, they always like to talk about Project 2025, and you know, which, by the way, is a complete dishonest disgrace. Project 2025 has nothing to do with the Trump campaign, and it never has. But set that to the side. He was talking about playbooks and trying to connect that to Project 2025, and he said, you know, yesterday AOC, she did very good. She ran a pick six. I think, like, you know, you don't run a pick six. You run the West Coast offense or the spread offense, or the 3-4, the 4-3. Like, it made me realize that I think that even though they say Tim Walz was a college football coach, that I think I know more about football than Tim Walz. And it's appropriate because I think my running mate, Donald J. Trump, knows more about working at McDonald's than Kamala Harris does.
Oh, that's good. And he knows it. Look at his face. Oh, JD, well done, sir. Oh, that was a good joke. I mean, here's the thing. It wasn't really a joke, right? It's just truth, but